Sato. She is a Japanese artist who has lived all over the world. I saw her reading your bio. We're so happy to have her in this show. This piece, which is above us, Paradise Dream 1, is from her Zukushi series, which began in 2020. And I really loved reading what she has written about this series. It comes from the idea of, quote, our body as a noisy, buzzing entity. Our emotions are not only triggered by the brain and outside events, but also our 100 trillion bacteria, both good and bad, living in each of our guts. If we treat our society like an organism, we need to visualize the world where our enemies also are necessary elements to compose this entire world as a whole. I will turn it over to her now to tell us more. Thank you.
Yes, so thank you, Courtney, for the introduction. I think my piece has, especially this piece, has two set of goals I have in my mind, and the one Courtney was quoting was that like, what is a harmony? Like, I think the definition of harmony has been shifting a lot since pandemic 2020. It's not only because, you know, Black Lives Matter happened, but also I became mother of one son during that time, and then I started to see people have polarized idea and hate each other, even we live in one country. And I was wondering, even in one family, sometimes people who believe in totally different politics can't get along anymore, and they hate each other, and just having tea is difficult. And I was seeking for a model of harmony which can include also two different elements of both fighting each other and see them as a whole, one big entity. And I realized that our body is one of them, like really great one. Like, for example, like our guts, we have both good guts and bad guts, and also so-so guts. And depending on like what you eat, and like, you know, you know, good guts gonna be happy, and so-so guts see, oh, good guts are doing great. So, okay, so we're gonna be with good guts. Or, you know, like if you eat all of fast food, bad bacteria become happy, and like, oh, and then so-so people are looking at, oh, bad guts are doing great. I wanna be with this. So it's like, you know, really depending on how you treat your body, like, you know, that kind of dynamism happen every hour, whatever you eat, and how you feel about, I don't know, how much stress you have. But the important part is nobody have only good guts or bad guts. You need to have both to have a good balance of your body. Because if you don't have any bad bacteria, good bacteria doesn't have motivation to be good. I thought it's very interesting, you know, perspective to understand what's going on in society. You know, like maybe we can appreciate people who have totally different perspective, and you know, say, oh, maybe those people activate us and activate the society to bring to the better direction. So rather than hate and rather than, I don't know, like throw them to the fire or whatever, maybe we can kind of, you know, like figure out how to live together and, you know, like understand they have their own entities or way of thinking, but at the same time, maybe they can kind of, you know, like help us to motivate to bring the society to better direction. So underneath of this painting, there are a lot of things going on. Like I use oil pastel, acrylic, Japanese semi-wash paint, semi-wash brushes, or kind of like material which conflict, like a water base and oil base, and kind of try to combine together with top coat of layer. And at the same time, it's a second, and then I'm going to talk about the second goal. I also wanted to figure out like what we can do for the future as a mother of kids now. Like And then I started to pay attention more to what we eat and what we wear. And I recognized that how much plastic are surrounding us and how much plastic are affecting our body. But at the same time, like going back to the good bacteria, bad bacteria analogy, if I kind of start to say that I hate plastic, okay, I'm gonna definitely burn them and just like kind of, I don't know, throw them out to the universe because I don't want to see them anymore. I think that's not a good way to, I don't know, create a better future. So I was thinking, how can I incorporate those plastic into my art practice and reduce the amount of plastic as as I don't know, like as an artist. So like this is like one of the first tries to utilize plastic waste into my painting. And at that time, I wanted to make sure that those plastic doesn't look plastic, because I see many eco art like has been rising and using a lot of plastic or like cardboard or things. But like at the end of the day, I feel like if they're gonna be, they're not good, they're not treated as a art product which can last longer, like it's gonna turn into trash. I used to take an art class of eco art, but I remember I made a lot of sculpture with plastic bag and I throw them out at the end of the semester. And what I did was not, I don't know, it was good practice for me, but I didn't think it was sustainable practice as an artist. So I tried to involve the ice cream containers, and then laser cutting scrubs, and pregnancy pill cases and face toner cases into this, and wanted to make some harmony with those uncertain materials. That's it.
So I have to say, I've looked at this piece since you brought it in every single day, and I see something different in a different texture, or I'm like, what is that made out of? I just can't stop looking at it. I love this piece so much. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, like that's also my point. I wanted to make something like every day, like it looks different. Every time it looks different, depending on the temperature, lighting, and hours. Because it's like our body.
Why did you do the picture of the elephant and then it looks like a rabbit?
As a creature to represent like existence after human being, or creature we need to really pay attention to or respect as I don't know, as animal brotherhood, or siblings, who share this earth together. And specifically, I chose elephant, which usually, in Asian context, we treat it as a magnificent animal, but at the same time, in the real world, they are one of the victims of human beings, because we took their land and we took their horns and they're beaten up, and because of our action. So, and then rabbit is coming from Japanese mythological messenger. So they usually gonna bring some message from God or nature to the human being, and tell them, hey, this is what's going on. You need to do something. So those two are significant for me, and I think that they can kind of help us to guide and dream what we can do, like what type of future we can have in the future. And that's the reason why the title is Paradise Dream.
plastic, you touched on this, but like, I agree, sometimes plastic is used as plastic in art rather than as an art material that can be transformed into something, and plastic in art can look sort of cheap or you know, disposable, but I love the way that you used it. Yeah.
Thank you. I think I need to use more to make it much crazier. But in the beginning, like I was really like, is it really okay? Am I doing okay? I don't know. Like I had so much self-doubt when I was making. Thank you so much. I think I was like, I don't know. Like I think for me, like you mentioned you started in 2013, right? I started this in 2022, so I guess I have 10 years more to figure out.
Other than thinking about the future of the planet, has your child influenced your artwork in any other way?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I think, you know, like when Baby came out, right now so many, you know, books and doctor insisted that tangibility is so important, right? Like we need to hold baby, and you know, like if we do skin to skin contact, he's gonna feel less stressful. And I guess like I remember when he was born, I have been holding him like 3 days straight. And he didn't want to leave me alone, and I was like, oh, you're gonna die, I need my time. But I just remember like in a previous work, I used to make such a flat, you know, like a painting, and there was no, how to say it, tangibility in that painting, and I really like such bold, you know, like strong style. But after he came out, like he just told me without words that tangibility is a thing that we all share, you know, like you got to really pay attention to it. And then during the night, you know, he woke up and he wanted breastfeeding, and I'm like, oh, I can't see anything, but I know how to do it. So because there's so many things that I couldn't use eyes, and I just needed to rely on my hands and arms and so on. So Zukushi series, like part of this is part of it, but that one kind of Zukushi series is affected by the tangibility a lot, and I started to use not only plastic but also raw terracotta and plaster and all kind of different materials to make it more three-dimensional. And yeah, so definitely my son changed me. The guy no more previous me, and I'm like I'm adjusting who I am, and again where am I going? But I guess we'll see. My son will guide me, I guess, in that way.